Good morning, everyone. It's me again, BigFriendlyWarGamer, also known as Gareth. That's my real name. I'm going to do another sit and paint and ramble and talk and stuff, like I do every week now. And yeah, I'm just going to dive in. I've got no paints out because I'm prepared. I just sat in to do this, but I'm going to just talk you through what I've got on my desk at the moment. This guy here is Logan Grimnar. He's still the commission that I'm still trying to get finished. I had a bit of a go on him yesterday and last night, and I've magnetised his base, so it goes like that, and he stands quite comfortably on it. He will also be able to go on this chariot, but I haven't finished the chariot, so I haven't magnetised it yet. And other things I've got on my desk is this is a new commission that I'm doing. He's very unpainted at the moment. He's also in sub-assemblies to make it easier to paint. So this is his base. It's a big thing here, but it comes out as he has a smaller base that he comes off, a gaming base. So that's the commission that I've taken on. He's an Imperial Fist. He's called Sigismund. He obviously has no right hand at the moment, but that's his sword. I need to fix that, it's a bit bent. The other things I have is this is a new model. It's the Dark Oath War Queen from Age of Sigmar. She's the, I can't remember what they're called. She's basically her race's fortune teller thing, can see the future, and I haven't got it painted because I can't undercoat in this weather. It's a bit cold out. And this guy is a Grimwrath Berserker. He's called. He's from my Silver Tower set. He's basically a dwarf with big hair. Again, not painted. I've got the walls for this chariot sitting on my desk because I just little bits to finish on them. I've still got my flayed ones out, which I haven't really touched. You can see the bone coloured ones there. This little guy who I did some more on last night, who's the Grot Shaman from Silver Tower. I'm not sure how that's showing up, but there you go. You still need a bit more doing on him. This is Oricon the Diviner, which is, he's got a little, he needs highlighting and stuff like that, and I've just no motivation to paint him really at the moment. This is one model I did finish. This is my Dark Elf Sorceress for Silver Tower. She is done now. I'm going to be able to put her away quite soon. So quite happy with how she turned out. And I've got random other bits and pieces. My desk is getting a bit cluttered again. I need to have a clean up. Like I've got an unpainted Demon Prince here. And I've got bits and pieces of unbuilt models and base for Logan Grimnar and stuff like that. Just generally my desk has got a mess again, and I need to sort it out. So excuse me, in the next, well, that might help. That's Sigismund when he's finished, and the back of him, he's basically standing on a big tank that he's sliced up. So yeah, so that's what's looking at what's on my desk. And today I'm just going to be painting bits and pieces of models. Probably a bit of Logan Grimnar. Might start on the flayed ones. Might try and get the Grot Shaman finished. Who knows? Right? So, I'm going to grab some paints. I think I'm going to actually make a start on the flayed ones. So let's go with some Ushabti Bone and some Screaming Skull. And let's get started. So generally when I do these videos, I sit and talk about my week. And again, at the moment, everything's a bit up and down. I don't know what's happening with my job at the moment. I don't know whether I'm leaving at the beginning of April or what. It's just, I don't know. It's a bit all up in the air. And excuse me, I didn't go to the club last night because you actually might be able to hear I'm a little bit under the weather, so I didn't get a game last night. But this coming Saturday is our big game in Watford. and my army's not painted. Like, some of it's not even undercoated. Like, the weather at the moment, it is apparently -2 degrees in London. I can't spray paint in that. No way. So I'm not even going to bother trying. And the good thing, not changing the subject, good thing with having multiple jobs on my desk like this, like the flayed ones, the next stage is you shabty bone. But also, if you can see the skull on this guy's staff and the bone he's carrying, the next stage on that is you shabty bone as well. So I can do multiple pieces of different models. So in a way, it's a good thing. People say that I shouldn't do it, but I do what I like. No one can tell me otherwise. So yeah, so I didn't go to the club last night, which is the first time in about 4 or 5 months I didn't go. I wasn't feeling too good, and I was just like, oh, do you know what, it's freezing cold, I'm just going to have a night in. And I did, and I got some painting done, which is generally what I do. When I don't go to the club on a Monday night, I paint. I've signed up for Amazon Prime for a stupid reason, really. I drink these protein shakes, which basically are a banana with some frozen fruit and a protein shake mix with coconut milk. I do that. I have that every morning. I have done for nearly a year now. And I forgot where this was going. But anyway, I totally forgot where that was going. But that happens to me quite a lot at the moment. So yeah, so I've had that for breakfast this morning, which was cool. I think my Blitzer, my NutriBlitzer is on its way out, but I can always get another one. It's not a problem. So what we're doing here is just layering the first colour onto the Necrons. So next week I'm off work, and I was considering doing a live hangout with some of my mates from the club. But we'll see. I have to talk to them a bit about this, because I gather some of them don't want to be on camera. But then I'm not really on camera. I'm just sitting here chatting. So we'll see. We'll see what they say. But the week after, so in just over a week and a half, Saturday the 10th, we're going up to a small group of us are going up to Warhammer World, which is in Nottingham, for those of you who don't know. Basically it's the headquarters for Games Workshop. We're going up on the Saturday, a group of 4 of us, so it should be a bit of a laugh. We're going to have a game up there, and we're playing Triumph and Treachery 40k, which strictly speaking isn't a thing, but we played Triumph and Treachery Horus Heresy at the club, something that I'd seen online done, and I figured we could make it work. I'm going to try it with 40k as well. Now it's a bit of a different rule set, so it may need some interpretation, but that's fine. I'm sure the other guys will help work it out as we're playing. And Triumph and Treachery is a bit different to 40k. Is like you have multiple armies. So we're going to have an army each. We're going to have 4 armies, about 2,500 points, I believe. And basically you can form alliances, and then you can turn traitor on each other. You can stab each other in the back. So I've played it before when it was the old fantasy rules. I played it as the 30k version. I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to try and apply it to 40k. Should be a bit of a laugh. And we're playing on a Age of Sigmar board, which is they've let us do because they're out of tables. So that means it's going to be really busy up there, which is to be expected, I suppose, but it might make it. My hearing isn't great, so we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Should be a good day though. Should be a very good day. I'm looking forward to it. So we were organising that the past week, although we haven't really organised it much. We get this Watford game out of the way and then we can talk about it some more. So yeah, it's been a relatively okay week. Nothing major's happened. Just I did get some other models finished. I got my Abaddon model finished. Well, finished to the extent as it's usable on the tabletop. There are other bits and pieces I would like to do on it, but it's tabletop ready. So that's cool. I also finished the 5 Cow Space Marines I was working on. These flayed ones are a little bit weird. They're robots. They're androids, sorry. They're like the Necron warriors that you've seen me paint before, except that they cover themselves in the skin of their fallen enemies. So the models themselves are a bit awkward. They are literally wrapped in rags of skin. With, look, if you can see this guy, he's got some dead guy's body on his back. So they're a bit weird, but I've got 15 of them, and I've got 5 fully finished. I would like to get the other 10 finished, but I'm not using them for this game in Watford. I've pretty much, no, not Watford, Warhammer World. I pretty much got my army sorted for that, and I've got one thing which isn't fully painted, which I'd actually need to glue together to play up there. But we'll see what I can do with that. I may switch it out for something else, but we will see. I'm not sure. No, I did paint the blades bronze on the other ones. But I'm not going to get to that stage today, it's fine. So, I've been asking people about what they want to see on this channel. And so, a couple of weeks ago I did an intro to wargaming. I want to do some more videos like that. And while I'm off, I'm going to be editing. I recorded a game that I played against a guy from the club. Oh, it's a while ago now, back in January I think it was, so nearly a month ago. I'm going to be doing some editing on that while I'm off work next week, which will probably cut into my painting time a little bit, but that's okay. I wanted to learn to do this. So yeah, it's everything's going okay. Man United beat Chelsea at the weekend, which was good. But yeah, I've been watching a few YouTube videos. I actually signed up to Amazon Prime, because that's where I was going with that protein shake thing. Amazon Prime, for some reason, decided to make the protein mix that I use as Amazon Prime only. So I signed up for Amazon Prime to get a £10 discount on it, and Amazon Prime costs $7.99 a month. Figure that out. And then one of the side benefits of signing up to Amazon Prime is I get Twitch Prime. And for any of you know that watch Warhammer TV, Twitch Prime is where Warhammer TV is posts all its videos. And Warhammer TV, basically they have like battle reports, and they have interviews with people who have written the rules and who have designed models and stuff like that. The main thing that I wanted it for was they do like a painting hangout with the two guys that do the painting tutorials on Warhammer TV, and they're called Peachy and Duncan, and I sat and watched 2 episodes of that while I was painting last night. It is so stupid. They're so funny, but sometimes you cringe because of some of the stuff they're saying. But yeah, it is funny. So that's the first one laid. I'm going to actually do this Grot Shaman because I really want to get this one finished because he's really close to being finished now. And if I get him finished, that'll be 20 for the month, which is pretty good. When you consider I haven't had a lot of painting time recently. Mainly because of work and because I've been a bit lazy. But we will solve that, we'll get through that. Bit of painter's block. But I think having different projects on my desk helps me with that. Helps me quite a bit with that. So I know that I can go, well, I don't want to. I painted a lot of Logan Grimnar last night, and I didn't really feel like painting him today because I want to get some models finished, and I don't think I can get him finished in the 2 days that are left of the month. So I'm pretty sure I can get this Grot Shaman finished as long as I can get some good painting time under my belt. I can get this Grot Shaman finished in the next day or two. I really like he's standing on what is a big pile of rocks, which, because my Silver Tower bases are like this one, they're all gold and turquoise. Like the rocks, I didn't have any choice but to base the model on the rocks because he wouldn't be able to stand flat otherwise. It's part of the model. So I just basically gave him a base, painted it turquoise, which I'm not too happy with, but I think I've got to do a bit more on. And then painted the rocks that he's on gold, because if any of you know what Silver Tower is, it's a dungeon crawler game from Games Workshop. It's set in the Age of Sigmar time, and basically it's the Gaunt Summoner, who's basically a disciple of Tzeentch, who's the Lord of Change, Twister of Time and Fates and whatever like that. He's a Chaos God, Tzeentch is. He he pulls heroes from across the realms into his Silver Tower, and with the stipulation is they cannot go home until they defeat him. And you got to defeat him by learning his name, which you do through a series of quests to gain shards which spell out his name. And you can play it with loads of people if you want, but it's best with 4 people. I've played it a number of times. I loved the original Warhammer Quest years ago when it came out. Some really good memories of playing that and some really bad memories. It was my old group of friends that were not particularly nice to me, but we don't need to go there again. And yeah, it's basically you've got heroes that go through dungeons and collecting wealth and gems and artifacts and stuff like that. And it's a dungeon crawler game. It's really quite a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it didn't really pick up around here very much. As much as I would have liked to play the whole campaign, it's getting people to do something continuously isn't an easy thing to do. So I've played the first mission in it like 4 times, and that's about all I've done. And I'm carrying on painting the set. I've still got a bit to do, but I'll get there. So yeah, so like I said, things are going okay. These flayed ones, I'm gonna just be doing first layers today, I think. Hopefully get a second layer done, but we're already 15 minutes in, I think, or 20 minutes in. So I'll probably just get the layers done. And I did a thing on Saturday. Saturday or Sunday? I think it was Saturday I went out. Yeah, it was Saturday. Didn't go out Sunday. I went to my local games workshop, and yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was the gas man knocking on the door. No idea where I was, what I was talking about, so I'm just gonna talk about something else now, I guess. So yeah, what I was talking about was I did a thing. I went into Games Workshop and I decided to get my nephew, who it's his birthday on Sunday. He's going to be 11. I'm pretty sure he's not going to see these, so it's fine. I've got him a starter set from Games Workshop. Now my sister's probably going to kill me, but I will explain things to her. She may see my point of view, she might not, and for all I know my nephew won't be that interested in it, and that's fine if he's not. But I thought that's something that me and him could do together. Like, generally I get on really well with my nephews. I'm the uncle who mucks about with them, plays fights with them, and builds their Lego with them and stuff like that, because that's who I am. I'd build with Lego all day long. If give me a big pot of Lego and I've got nothing better to do, I'd build Lego. I wouldn't bother me at all. He's very creative, so I just thought it might be something he might like. And it is only just a small set. It's I think about a dozen models, a bit of terrain for him to play on, and it's a starter set of paints and clippers and a bit of glue. I think he'll like it. This doesn't mean he's got to jump in like I have and collect £6 million of it. I've not got £6 million, but you know what I mean. And like I said, my sister's probably going to kill me, but I will explain things to her, my thinking and stuff. She might understand, you never know. Her other half won't, but hey ho. It's just, it's not me being selfish, right? I have no one in my family who does any of this. None of my friends, my non-related, the people that don't come to the club. Not that I have a lot of them friends anymore, but my outside of the hobby friends, none of them do any of this. The people I grew up with, people that are really local to me, none of them do any of this. So I just thought it'd be a cool thing. Like I said, he's really creative anyway. And he's built models and stuff in the past. I know he has. Not Games Workshop stuff. And the wargaming isn't just Games Workshop. I mean, I think that's what my sister's so against it, is because it is expensive. Like, Games Workshop stuff is expensive. But it doesn't have to be Games Workshop stuff that he gets into. There's cheaper brands around. You know? And it might encourage me to actually try other things if he's trying the hobby as well. But we'll see. I mean, he's 11, so he doesn't have to jump in feet first. Just give it a go. Let's see what he might enjoy it. He might not. If he doesn't enjoy it, I'm not going to push it on him. If he does enjoy it, then it's good. We'll see. See what happens. But yeah, it's like I said. I think I've said before. It's my birthday on Saturday. Grand old age of 37. You never feel like your age. I don't feel 37. I have the aches and pains sometimes, but that's about it. So yeah, I had a conversation with someone. She wasn't happy about turning 30. As I said, you know what? Give it a few years. 30 won't seem like such a bad thing. She was saying about she's dreaded turning 30 since she was like 13, and I'm like, it's an age. It doesn't mean anything. You get silly adolescent kids who are 30, 34, 35. You get them at 50, 60. It doesn't matter. So yeah, it's just a number. Doesn't mean anything. So yeah, basically these Necrons, I'm getting them started because I'm trying to get my Necrons, push my Necrons and get them done. I've had them for a while now, and I got one of the YouTubers I follow, Mini Wargamer J. He's just finished. He's just finished painting all his Tyranids. I think he's on his last model. He posted a video the other day. He was painting his last really big model, which is really cool. Like, to have a fully finished army where you have nothing else that you have to paint for it is, I would kill for that. And like with my Necrons, they're a big enough army that I wouldn't really need to buy anything else from. I own a bit. I own one of everything, at least one of everything, I think. And the thing is, they've got Codex coming out quite soon, next month or two. And there's rumours they're getting new models, and I'm like, oh, I can't buy new models. I can buy new models. I'm totally, like, my money's my money. But I'm trying to push myself to get all of these finished. And having more will just confuse me. I'm easily confused, you see. Purple, blue. Just me. That's one of my jokes, don't worry about it. I would love if they brought out plastic flayed ones, because these are resin, and they're a bit bendy, shall we say, and they're expensive. These are for the 5 that I've got here, they're £25.50. So you're looking at probably $45 in American money. I don't know if anyone American sees this. The exchange rate is, I've no idea of. That's number 2 done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and apply the second layer of Ushabti Bone on the Grot Shaman, because he's my main priority today. Let's get him finished. I've got to water this down a little bit now because it's been sitting here for a little while. And I've spoke about a palette before. I'm one of the very few people that I know that uses a palette. Like, most people either paint straight out their pots, or they paint on there's a paper palette you can buy, which I don't like. I love my little plastic palette. I've had it for 15 years or so. And I'm one of the few people that I know who actually uses one. Little plastic palette. And I know the paper ones are okay. I just don't like them, so I don't use them. Got to work out with this little Grot. He's got a skull on his base, which is basically, it looks like it's a cup. and he's got a bone in it and he's stirring it, it looks like. So I'll figure out what to paint the stuff in the cup. I was going to go for like a deep red to make it look like blood, but then that wouldn't make sense for a grot. To make it mushroom soup, because he's got mushrooms on his base. Grots love mushrooms. I don't know. But yeah, it's hobby things are going quite well. They've expanded this malign portents thing, and they've released I think they're called the Daughters of Cain. They're like the corrupted elves, and they're like all snake women, which look pretty cool, but doesn't really interest me as an army. One model I would quite like to paint is the really big one. I can't remember her name. She looks pretty cool, but I'm not going to buy. I could buy that model just to paint it. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But I've got plans for so many projects this year. Shouldn't really jump on another one. And I decided for myself, I think it was last week, that my corn demons. Let's pitch this camera up a little bit, because it's just, I'm not on. Yeah, my hands aren't on camera at all. My corn demons aren't going to get any new models now until I've finished painting what I've got. Which means I've got 15 bloodletters, 3 blood crushers, the throne of blood, and the demon prince to finish. The demon prince, strictly speaking, isn't for that army, but I've been using it in that army. So once I've got them finished, I can then buy my Bloodthirster, which is a model that I've wanted for ages. And I'm pretty sure I'm going with Scarbrand rather than the actual Bloodthirster models. Scarbrand is a named Bloodthirster character. I may not use him as Scarbrand because he's really expensive points wise, but we will see. Just the other Bloodthirsters, they're on this like base where they're flying, but they've got flames underneath them, and to me it just looks like the flames will snap. Like, I'm not the most careful with my models. I put them in cases where they're going to be under pressure and stuff like that, and I've just got visions of me opening my case one day and it just snaps off its base, and it'll be a nightmare to put back on because the contact points are so small. Whereas Scarbrand is on his feet, so I think I'm going to more than likely go for Scarbrand. To me, he's a nicer model as well. So yeah, but again, I've got to get Bloodletters finished first. Got to get all the other demon models finished first, and then I can look at expanding the army. So it won't be anytime soon, I don't think. Although for my Bloodletters, I've got quite an easy paint scheme on them. I just need to get motivated to do them. Wow, this model, I seriously didn't clean him up when I actually built him. This model I've had for like 6 years, maybe more, and I built him the day I got him, and I didn't clean him very well, so his mould lines are pretty big, but he's not a model that I plan on using very often, so he's fine. I used him as a Cryptek before, but this is in 6th or 7th edition. I used him as a Cryptek when I was fielding 2 Crypteks, which I don't anymore. So yeah, this is back when you would field the Royal Court, which is basically you had the Necron Overlord, and a number of lords, a number of cryptex, and you form a Death Star unit, it's called. Really very powerful. You can't do it anymore. And now Necron characters are kind of, yeah, they're a bit crap. So you're best not chucking a load of points into them anymore, because they just die really quick. Like, you regain wounds on them, which is fair enough. You can regain a wound per turn, or if you destroy a lord, you can regain D3 wounds per turn, because they have an item called phylactery. But it's just, the characters are in 40k now. The characters aren't this go in, stomp everything models. They provide benefits to models around them, and I see that in a way. But some characters should still be able to get in there and deal damage. Just, they've gone away from the characters being this powerful thing now in 40k, which in a way is good, because some of the characters were really overpowering. But like, you're going to get that in any army. Like, for example, the whole Knights of the Round Table. Arthur was awesome. He would slay anyone. But I don't like what they've done with characters in 40k now. And I'm not going to get into the whole bitching about 40k, because it's the game that I play, and I'm quite happy playing it. I just wish that they hadn't changed it as much as they did. But there we go. Okay, so his layer is done as well now. I'm going to grab a quick drink. I'm going to clean my palette. Lick my brush, because I've licked my brush. Bad thing to do. And we're going to move on to the next colour on the Grot Shaman. Like, looking at his base doesn't look all that good. It's because he comes on like a square base, and to actually get him onto a round base, you have to cut around the square base bit for the detail, which I done, and it doesn't look very good. I've got ideas of how to fix it, but I've gone a bit far on the painting. I don't want to start putting stuff on it now to make it look weird. So basically, we're doing the second layer on his bones and his skull on his staff and the skull on his base. I'm going with Screaming Skull. I've just got a way of painting bone, which is the Games Workshop way. Right? They have ways of teaching people to paint. Games Workshop do, which I think is really cool. Multiple ways. You got the app that you can download on your iPad, your phone, your tablet, whatever. And basically, you can go to, like, say you want to figure out how to paint a Blood Angel Space Marine. You click on the Blood Angel Space Marine, it will tell you which paints to use and so. Which is useful for some things. I mean, having painted this lady, a Dark Elf Sorceress, I used that for the purple. And the flesh to some extent, although I'm not particularly happy with the flesh, but I'm not painting it again because it's the second time I've painted her skin. So the app's useful. They've got a how to paint miniature guide as well, which is a little book. A little book. It's 100 odd pages long, and it comes with a DVD. And the DVD you just put into your laptop or your TV or whatever while you're painting. It'll talk you along, like techniques and stuff like that. It's cool. But I watch a lot of their videos on Warhammer TV, which they put on YouTube. And I also get a lot of use out of Mini Wargaming's Vault videos as well. In fact, my Vault membership's actually up in March, which I was considering not renewing it. Not because of anything they've done, just I don't have the time to sit and watch YouTube videos as much anymore. But I'm going to keep it because some of the stuff that they seem to be putting out at the moment is really good. Like the Blue Collar Heresy that they're doing, which is Dark Heresy roleplay. I'm finding really a lot of fun. It's quite funny. But they do what's it called, tutorials, painting tutorials a lot as well. Not tutorials, stage by stage quick tips they're called. And a guy called Chris who paints it. He has his own YouTube channel as well called Wider Brush. And he's like a really great painter. So every now and then, if I'm not sure how to do something, I jump on there and I just type it into their website and it comes up. Generally it comes up. Sometimes they haven't got it, but it's generally quite good. So yeah, like I was saying, I was considering not renewing my membership, but I think I will. I've been a Vault member for what, 4 or 5 years now, probably a bit more than that actually, but it's just their way of like paying the bills, keeping the lights on and stuff. So for people who resurrected my interest in the hobby a good few years ago now, 6 years ago I think. I always feel like it's a duty to pay back when someone's helped you in that way. And a lot of people will say, no, you don't owe them anything, blah 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 and whatever. But it's like with my my community, the wargaming community that I'm part of. I spent a lot of time in Games Workshop in Uxbridge when I was when I was getting back into the hobby, and mainly down to one guy. He was manager of the shop at the time. Won't say any names because I don't mention names on here. I don't know how people will react to their names being all over YouTube and stuff. But he knows who he is if he ever listens to these. I felt I owed him something because of him helping me get back into the hobby. So that's why I would help out when he was running beginner games at the shop and he was busy serving the customers. I would help out. I never had a problem with that. Even so much so I tried to get a job work in there. And maybe further down the line I might try to work for Games Workshop. So I know they don't put any kind of age limit on anything. People reckon that I'd do a really good job running a store. But we'll see further down the line. I don't know what's happening. Like I said, I don't know what's happening with my job yet. For all intents and purposes, I am finishing on the 1st of April. But we'll see. See if any of the promised changes happen, which I don't think they will. But like, the company is just, it's wrong. The way that they treat people is wrong. And I don't care if people at work see this, because the people who would see it, the people that I work with, they all feel the same way. I'm pretty sure. And some of them just, they want an easy life and they just won't step up and fight their corner. I'm sick of having to fight to verify where I am in the company, and like I'm one of the lowest paid, just a warehouse bod. But they take advantage of us way too much. Way too much. So yeah, so I've got to wait and see if changes happen, and I'm happy with it. Then I might stay. Strictly speaking, I have handed my notice in, but the manager didn't accept it and tore it up. So if he's not going to accept my resignation, I'll just walk away. I won't give him notice. I'll just go. And people are saying that I'm mad for walking out on a job and whatever, but it's damaging my health quite badly. I don't want to go to work ever. And I know other people are in this position as well. They don't want to go to work because they're just sick of their jobs. But like, I've been doing this same thing for 15 years now. There's got to be more to life than being miserable all the time. So if it takes me to scare myself and jump out of the comfort zone that I'm in, then fair enough, I've got to do it. Like for example, at the moment it's freezing cold out, right? I'm going to be at work tonight. Warehouse door will be open most of the night. I will be freezing my arse off, and managers don't care. Once the job's done, they don't care. I sometimes wonder what it would take for the company to actually care. I'm wondering if it takes for someone to die on the warehouse floor for them to care. I don't wish that on any of the people I work with. But it's me getting engrossed in bloody work politics again. I said I wouldn't, so I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to talk about the hobby some more. So this guy here he's Oricon the Diviner. He's a special character for Necrons. I have never ever brought him in a game. I used the model as a cryptek a few times, as I was saying. He has this ability where once per game he can basically, it's called the Stars Are Aligned, I think it's called. And he turns into a bit of a beast. Like I said, never used him, never seen it happen. He normally dies before the stars align. And with how the codexes are going at the moment, where each model can only affect their certain chapter or dynasty or whatever even, I probably never will use him now, because I make my own lore, should we say, regarding my dynasty. I very much Transformers related. My overlord is called Megacron. My dynasty is called the Shifter Dynasty, so it's kind of Transformers, and their homeworld is Iacon. I grew up with Transformers. I know the lore fairly well. So yeah, so it basically means that I'll never be able to use these special characters in my what's it called, dynasty, which is fine. I've never really used special characters for Necrons anyway. I do for Blood Angels, purely because when I started collecting the Blood Angels second company, the what's it called, the captain was Captain Tycho, who's a special character. It wasn't even when I started collecting. I started collecting second company before Captain Tycho was a special character. So I just carried on that, because that's my story behind the character. So behind the army, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm just trying to get this finished. And yeah, I'll probably carry on painting for a little bit while I upload my video when I've come off of this. So his bone colour is almost finished now. He's got I've got to do an edge highlight, and then that's done. So what we're going to do is put them to there. I try and keep groups of stuff how they've painted on my desk. You may remember, if you saw last week's one, that I had quite a full desk of models. Like I had Abaddon, I had the Chaos Space Marines. I finished them all, so it pushed me up to, I've painted 19 models so far this month, including the Sorceress. I would like to get the Grot Shaman finished to push me to 20, so it means I'm ahead of where I should be for the year. It'll put me on 37 finished painted models, where my target would have been 34. I'm hoping to get this guy finished soon as well. It's just like I painted most of his chariot last night, so you can see the greys are highlighted and stuff, and I've painted the golds and I've shaded it, and I've done some silver work, but something to me, it just doesn't seem right on him. As you can see, the actual Marine character himself, sorry, tell me some more water. He's on a snowy base, and he's basically stepping on an armor plate from a tank, and it's 1,000 sun armor plate. And this base effect that I've done, like you can see the snow. Basically, I've painted the base like I normally would, so it's textured grey paint, shaded with Nuln Oil. The grey paint is called Astro Granite. Not that one, that's a shade. So it's probably that one, Astro Granite. Shaded with Nuln Oil, dry brushed with Longbeard Grey. And then basically the way I do the snow is I have snow effects called Valhalla Blizzard, which is that paint there. And I have Snowflock. Basically I put a load of Valhalla Blizzard on the base, not cover it, and then I dip it in flock. And the paint itself acts as a really good glue, which I found better than PVA glue. So like none of it comes off, it's all glued on quite well. And then I actually done the magnet before. You can see some of the magnets slightly, but I think it's not enough to be able to be bothered. And the model itself needs finishing, but it is just a magnetised base, and I think a load of the snow jumped off, but there we go. And once he's finished, he will be magnetised onto the chariot as well. And this will finish the commission that I started a long time ago. The guy's been really quite kind. He's held on and not pressured me, and I know I've taken on another commission, and it's a single model. I don't think it will take me that long to paint. I will put my best effort into it, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly yellow and the base is mostly silver, so I don't think it'll take me too long to do. What I'm going to do, actually not use one of my best brushes for a shade, and this is my Winsor Newton brush. It's my number 2. I actually had to glue the head back on. I used a bit of super glue because it came off, so that's not a good thing. So basically all I'm going to do is, because I'm jumping between models, I've got another 10 or 15 minutes or so, I'm going to just shade the metal parts on this. It's just basically the connector points to the wolves. I've still got a fair bit to go on this, but it's getting there. And you'll notice I don't use a palette when I put shade on, because I use the edge of the pot to control how much I need. And And you may hear there's little bits inside the actual chariot. Whether you can hear that or not. It was my attempt to make a platform for the magnet to go on. It didn't work, so I'm going to have to come up with something else. Like, I'm fairly new to using magnets for models. And the extent of what I have done is the arms on my Contemptor Dreadnoughts for my World Eaters. And magnetising bases to models, like big models, so that they're easy to store. That's about it. I want to use them more, but I'm just like, I magnetised the Blood Throne to his base at the second attempt because I ballsed it up first time. Like, you got to understand magnet polarity and stuff, and it's not a difficult thing to do. But if you balls it up, you balls it up, and it's hard to take the magnet back out of the glue once you've glued it in place. So I just got a new base and started again. And yeah, with this guy, I'm shading the metal, the silver. And there's a fair bit of it on here. Trying not to get it on the grey that I've finished. And I'm relatively happy with how this has come out. The grey looks quite cool. The gold looks okay, but it needs finishing. It needs actually needs some highlights. And there's a lot of details. I've got to paint the wolves. You've got the wolf pelts. You've got the shields. And this is Space Wolves. And I've noticed bits I've missed already. This is not your typical Space Wolf though. This is Space Wolves, 40k Space Wolves in 30k colours, which was something that I was doing last year. The Thunderwolf Cavalry I've painted are in 30k colours. The Grey Hunters and Blood Claws are in 30k colours. What else was the Banner Bearer? The Wolf Priest I think is in 30k colours, and it's quite a nice colour scheme to paint. It's relatively easily, and I have been considering painting a Space Wolf army for Horus Heresy, and then I jumped back onto Blood Angels because Blood Angels are my army. Always have been, always will be. And I've actually started the army. I've built 4 squads now. And you would have seen earlier in the year me painting the Praetor and the Chaplain for Blood Angels, which they were finished. And I'm just waiting for the new Black Book to come out. Basically, Forge World, who does the Horus Heresy, have these big black books that they bring out. They're massive books, big leather bound books, really gilded pages. They're expensive. And the next one, let's not drop him. Oh, stand up. There we go. The next one has Blood Angels in it. So I'm waiting on that to come out to really jump into Blood Angels, because I don't know what they're going to be able to really do. I've got a general idea. They're going to be a combat army, I would assume. So again, it may be mostly Space Marine Assault Troops, which means buying resin Assault Troops, which are £150 for a set of 10, but we'll see. Actually need to get some more of them. When I'm up at Warhammer World next, not this coming Saturday, next Saturday, I may buy some more troops for my World Eaters. We'll see. So yeah, we're getting close to our time now. Talking makes me really thirsty. So that's why I make sure I have some water here now. I don't always remember. But yeah, it's plodding along, and I hope you guys are painting as well. If you paint, that is. You may not. You may just listen to me blabbering. I don't know. So basically, I think I've shown you this before, but this chariot, you've got the chariot itself, which goes about like that. Then you have these two wolves, this is the left-handed one. It goes something like that. And that's the right-handed one, who I might have trouble putting on. Let's take this palette away. He goes on something like, he's not going to stand up, so let's put a bit of blue tack on him. It'll look like a really nice model when he's finished. Like I've weathered the chariot a little bit, so he's got a bit of battle damage on it. And I've done the same with Grimnar's armour, because he should be a bit battle damaged, because he's a bit of an old space marine. Like that and like that if he wants to stay standing up. So that's the chariot, and then this guy, once he comes off there, will go something like that, and that's the chariot. Maybe you can see that or not. Let's just give you a bit of a, there he is. Let's see if I can turn him around a little bit without dropping him. So it's quite a big model, really. There we go. That'll be what he's like when he's finished. Obviously his base will be more textured and look better. And he's not mega far away from being done now. The wolves have been finished for quite a while, apart from they've got the little saddles on their backs, which is going to take me like 5 minutes to finish. In fact, they are done. The chariot is getting close, and it's just him himself. He's a bit awkward. The model is like really detailed, which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes you can overcomplicate models. But there you go. And I like how his magnet works. It's a single magnet on his base, and it just, look, the base doesn't come off. He's quite usable as a tabletop model just without his chariot now. Just how to do the magnet in the chariot, I think I've got to put a bit of metal as support. I was using like dead spew, which I think what I might do is put some green stuff in there, shove a load of green stuff in the hole. It looks like a bit of a bodge job, and it kind of is, but you won't be able to see it when he's on there, so it'll be fine. And stick a load of green stuff in the hole, fill it, and then drill. I think it'll be the best thing. Drill a hole for the magnet, put the magnet in, and that should be good. So yeah, so we're about there, I think, nearly our hour. I've got some painting done, not a hell of a lot, but I never seem to get a hell of a lot of painting done in a short amount of time anymore. But thank you very much for listening. If you've sat and listened through my ramble again, I'll be doing another one next week. Hopefully I'll do a little bit of a record at the big game that I'm playing on Saturday. I'll record a few of the, like, I'll just do clips of the turns. Maybe not, I don't know. But we'll see. And then next week I'm going to be doing a lot of painting, I hope. I'm motivated to next week. Because there can be times when I've just got no motivation to do it, and I'm hoping that next week won't be like that. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. You all know who I am. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Goodbye.